Hello and thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalists Hangout. I am Kemi Fola Adeyemo. Today on the program, Goje endorses the candidature of Lawan for Senate presidency after both senators met with President Buhari. APC state chairman seek President Buhari's intervention in Oshiomhole face-off. Later on the show today, bandits kill 16 in Zamfara on Salah Day as IGP seeks tougher legislations against kidnapping and banditry. I'll be hanging out today with Charles Deho and Tony Waje. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Glad to be here one more time. Thank you.
Indeed. Journalists Hangout starts now. In politics, never say never, especially when it comes to getting what you want. As the 9th Senate awaits inauguration, the battle for who becomes the number 3 man in the country is getting clearer in what could be tagged the game changer in the tussle for the president of the incoming Senate. Senator Danjuma Goje from Gombe State has now stepped down for the frontrunner in the race. That's Senator Ahmed Lawan, who's from Yobe State. Now this after the duo in company of other APC chieftains met behind closed doors today with President Muhammadu Buhari. It appears now that Senator Lawan may clinch the plum job this time. But let's hear from them after the meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja.
I'm very pleased to announce that distinguished Senator Goje has agreed to fully endorse and support the choice of the party and that of Mr. President to lead the Senate, that is Senator Ahmed Lawan.
In spite of the support I have among my colleagues, senators and senators-elect, I have decided, in difference to the loyalty I have for His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and in difference to my loyalty to my party, APC, in the interest of the unity of our party and the development of this country, in order to assist Mr. President to deliver on his promises, I have decided to respect his wish by not declaring to contest this Senate presidency. Instead, I am supporting the position of the party and his own position, thereby endorsing the candidature of Senator Ahmed Lawan.
Is going to bring so much unity in the APC and indeed in the entire Senate in a very bipartisan fashion. I believe that that is the way to go, and we want to go there into the 9th Senate united right from outside, kickstart our activities, very important at this time. The country needs a Senate that is focused and united for optimum performance.
Right there now, all the way from Abuja, we saw Senator Danjuma Goje as well as the frontrunner for the Senate presidency tussle now, Ahmed Lawan, speaking out after news filtered in that Senator Goje had indeed dropped his ambition, so to speak, declaring support instead for Senator Goje. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Unfortunately, Babajide Kolade-Otoju cannot join us today due to some official duties. Let's begin, Charles, this way. Key words there. I'm sure you noted those words now, but top of which is we want to present a united front for the party, the APC. How do you want to begin our discussion today?
First of all, let me praise the effort of the governor of Kaduna State, Rufai. In recent times, his name is in the news for the right reason, if you will. I want to praise his effort, and also Senator Uba, who, of course, they were able to broker this rapprochement, political rapprochement, if you will. I think is going to work well for APC because the disunity we found that affected the economy, that affected the polity, when against all odds, that Senator Bukola Saraki emerged, you know, rather than strengthening the party, he divided the party. Rather than strengthening the Senate for the benefit of the polity, for the economy to run smoothly, what we did was we forfeited that progress for 4 years. We can ill afford that right now, so I'm building for the next 4 years. So which is why I said I praise the effort of Governor El-Rufai for being able to broker this truce. You'll find that Ahmed Lawan, right now, he's going to have at least almost going to have a smooth run, which of course will also pay us, because when you continue to have these discordant tunes, and then you will find where the legislature is always at daggers drawn with the executive, who suffers? The economy suffers, the politics suffers. But I'm not saying that when they agree to toe the party line, it does not translate to a rubber stamp legislature, no. Absolutely. But what it translates to is that easy agreement. When you have policies from the executive, it can easily be passed for us to make progress. That's the dispensation we're going to go into. So thankfully that we clear Goje, you can't wish him away, because the man has been around right from his days at Bauchi State House of Assembly as a member. He was Minister of Steel and Power. So he has been able to build bridges. Okay, so which was why, while he was contending, he was not a pretender, but he was a contender. But now that he has stepped aside in obedience to respect that the supremacy of the party, which of course we'll be talking about, the party must speak and everybody has to toe the line of the party, which we didn't get in 2015. But now that it has come to this way, the Nigeria will gain from it, the polity will gain, the economy will gain. So I applaud with the effort of everybody who were able to broker this truce.
Tony, how much of a significance does this Goje withdrawal mean to you and in this lingering Senate presidency race?
For me, it's a welcome development. It has doused that tension within the party, and I hope there are no other surprises in front. For the sake of the country as a whole, I salute the effort of the governor of Kaduna State, for then the president, because we were in the villa, right? So I salute more the president and then the contenders too, especially Goje himself, for finally saying, okay, it's over. So for the peace, he said, for the respect he has for the president, for the unity of the party and the country, and loyalty to party. Let me put it this way: this is 2019. They're going to inaugurate the Common Assembly.
Well, five days from now, so.
I want a new National Assembly. It's a welcome development. I said it before, I'm saying it again. But we want new things. We had so much crisis in the past. Today was a valedictory. I think it's over. So a new set comes up. So, but what I'm interested in is
for us to move beyond this point.
I want a new national. I don't want a rubber stamp assembly. I welcome the development, but I want a vibrant National Assembly. A vibrant in the sense that it's not the bills, it's not everything that the executive wants. That the legislature must go through, must append and put the stamp on. It's a welcome development, but things, we had issues in the past. I know what happened, because then it was APC, until towards the election when they started going their different ways. It's still the same now. We should not pray to get to that level where this kind of thing will happen again, because it may likely happen. It may likely happen. It's three arm. We have three arms of government. We have the executive, the judiciary, and if everybody should play their role well, because what I said it may happen again is when executive interference sets in. It happens, because we're talking about distinguished men at the House of Assembly, National House of Representatives and Senate. So it has to be a mutual, there must be this mutual respect. So that we don't have the mistake. So we don't have the mistake that happened before. It's like not. But
we cannot. Tony,
we cannot
afford antagonistic legislature.
In spite of that,
Yeah, because that's what is going to happen if we're not careful.
Respect across the board.
All right.
No, it's bigger than the other.
That's it. I've been able to pick up some nuggets from both of you. But then talking about this meeting, I like the way you played on the fact that the meeting was held in Abuja, the presidential villa, and President Buhari, you know, supposedly, even though we didn't see a soundbite, get a soundbite from him, but no doubt, what does this, how symbolic is this, the venue of this visit, the venue of this target, so to speak? They have their target now as a party, but there had been clamor the president should intervene at some point. I mean, at least 3 senators from the same party vying for this top job in the Senate, and now one has stepped down for the other, narrowing down to 2. Has the president spoken out now?
Well, even if we had not heard that, I think the president accepting to have them, to host them, is I would say, it's a departure from what took place in 2015. Remember when the president said he was for everybody, but not for nobody. But it did not help us. It did not help him. Because you saw that every time that you have bills, you have policies, it is the same party. Intra-party relationship was broken from the end of the legislature. Okay, that's why I was saying just on that. You having Ahmed Lawan that is the choice of the party doesn't necessarily it's not going to translate to a rubber stamp assembly. No, but what we can ill afford is an antagonistic executive and legislative relationship. We can't afford that. So we will have somebody not even pliable, but someone who can easily not become too antagonistic. Somebody who is not too militant. So in having that relationship between the 2 arms of government. So that's exactly where we're going to that way, where we can even have a smooth running, smooth relationship, a robust relationship that can throw up, we can make our polity to even make some progress. Now, the president accepting now, which means that the president may have learned his lessons by not becoming aloof, because he was aloof, so to speak, in 2015, which was why Senator Bukola Saraki was able to play into their hands. I mean, they were able to play into Saraki's hand. Now that the president has accepted to now say, okay, now let's play politics, let's play party politics. You now say even his own position will further be strengthened. Because the policies that are going to be coming out from the executive can easily sail through, not by the rubber stamp that Tony is afraid of, no, but that you will not have an antagonistic legislature at our hand, even as we enter the 9th Senate. That's the way I see it personally.
And as a party, Tony, of course, there's some concerns indeed, but as a party, is the party now, you know, narrowing or further presenting itself as a united party indeed? I mean, what about the third man? What about Senator Ali Ndume?
I see if Goje will concede, I see Ndume doing same. It's a matter of time before the
well, we just have 5 days ago.
Yeah,
5 days ago. Next week is 5 days ago.
The major contender is, for me, is Goje. So if Goje has conceded, I see Ndume's own coming soon. For the unity of the party, I want to blame because really, we must apportion blames. Then we move forward. I blame the party chairman initially for the wrong step we took when we said, oh, this other party, we don't need you. I mean, there are certain things you don't say, at least at the upper echelon of that party. So there are those fundamental error, I want to believe is being corrected as we move on as a party. Because as a party, there are certain things you're not supposed to have the step taken at that point. I know, just Charles was talking about 2000, the mistake made, and then trying to correct it. Yes, everybody knows that mistake was let me say, it took the party back a bit, or the country back, because of this bickering between the executive and the legislature. But it's not in all fronts. So some were expected, some were necessary, some were normal. But then now, we don't want that mistake to be made. The president has stepped forward, so that things will move better. Welcome. But please, let the legislature run their race. There should be no interference. There must. That's the beauty of democracy. It's not everything you churn out that, and it doesn't work that way. We grow our democracy when things like this happen. There's no way you cannot talk about the past, the outgoing assembly. You know, there's a history. So it's not. I'm okay. I like what's going on, but things has to be done.
But let me quickly say
all
this
arms of government, for me, I still maintain, are equal and must be seen as such and respected. None is bigger than the other. I conclude.
I am not anticipating.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fine. Charles, of course, these are legitimate concerns. Many a Nigerian, watching the show, questions, issues like that will naturally, churn in his or her mind. We're talking about the outgoing Senate now. There should be on record, some gains in spite of the frosty relationship between both arms of government. There will be some claims now of, okay, yes, we did indeed give the executive a chance now, or it wasn't like a rubber stamp scenario, but, we had to ensure the Nigerians were getting a fair deal in spite of this. But for the PDP now, for fears from people like Tony now, who may say, okay, I don't want a rubber stamp Senate eventually, but after all, APC alone doesn't comprise National Assembly.
Well, incidentally, I think happily for APC, particularly the incoming senators, and then you also have those ones who are also the ranking senator. They're already saying that they are going to be their own men. What does it mean? In 2015, they were railroaded, so to speak, to queuing behind a particular candidate because of a Kuremadu. They had, okay, Kuremadu is going to be like, you remember the sharing formula they had. Absolutely. That. But this time around, they're saying, most of them are saying that they are going to vote their conscience, irrespective of what the party will say they should do. This time around, they're not having the party telling them what to do. Why? Because most of them are even angry that you have some people who are pretending.
Right. I'm sorry. Okay. Stanley wants to join in on the conversation. You're welcome, Stanley, from Lagos here.
Yes.
All right, carry on.
Please, I really admire what people are doing, but I would advise that you tell the panelists in CAP to, open his arms. He's not in a hospital, please.
To do what?
Let him not slouch.
We are losing the tail end of your... Can you be more audible?
He said I'm not in the hospital. I couldn't get that.
No, I don't think. Yeah. It just sounded very, very faint from your end. Sorry, Stanley, we didn't get what you were trying to pass across.
Okay, so, yeah, as I was saying, so they want to assert their own authority, independence. I mean, the PDP senators. Most of them are even angry that there are some positions in the Senate, for example, the one they call juicy, all these other things.
Committees.
Good. That most of them, they've claimed it's as if it's hereditary. Okay? So you can you can easily think these are the people who are going to assume. Yeah, so they already say no, but that if they work with this coming, for instance, if they queue behind Lawan, for instance, some things could swing their way. Instead of when it happens, most of them as if it's hereditary to them. They just go in there and then they claim. So that's why I'm thinking that this Senate that is coming is going to be a very robust one. Okay? Now, for the fear of Tony, for instance, you say, oh, you don't want a Senate that will be interfered with. Interference is about what I think that there's no way you can divorce the influence of the party in power from what happens in the National Assembly, because it's still the party that's in power. You can influence, but not interfere. That we must separate these two.
Yeah, you're using the right word.
Okay, so there may be no interference here. Interference, no, but you can say they can influence because it's still there. Everything, whether it's Lawan, whether it's Buhari, it is the same APC government, and everything all of them must ensure that indeed at the end of 4 years, when they breast the tape, they will say, yes, you know what, we all have done it. And because it's going to be a collective effort of all of them. And
the party speaks with one voice.
Exactly. So I see a robust ninth assembly coming, because now that you are going to have a less militant leadership, then it will all go away for all of us.
Okay, so we know what the party stands for, what the party seeks to present to the public, but Can the same be said of the PDP now, the closest opposition or the main opposition party, so to speak now? Can the same be said of the PDP? Yes, already we've seen some people declaring support, but like Charles has said, they are not, speaking for the party, they're speaking for themselves.
The only person I heard, I think, Senator Peter Moboshi from Delta North.
Talk about
who just claimed his
bold move.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah, and I understand why he made that move. He needed it for his safety. PDP, I think I listened to the chairman of the PDP yesterday. I think we're having a meeting today. They're having a meeting today, or maybe presently, where they want to, sit down and conclude on how, we are going to vote in block or something, but they are taking a general stand today. You cannot rule out the opposition party in this calculation if you put their number on the table. Even Senator Lawan himself acknowledged that fact. And when we talk about the Senate here, we're not talking about party. When we talk about Senate, we're talking about distinguished men. We're talking about people, professionals in their cause, wherever they are coming from. They've seen life. They had the majority of their past governors. Some of them are former governors, some ministers, some experts in different professional fields. So I'm more interested in what's going to come out from that Senate. I'm not talking about House of Reps here, because for me, anyway, let me not go on House of Reps. Let me finish with the Senate first. I'm more interested in what's going to happen at the Senate. For me, I believe there will come a time we'll have a unicameral legislature where we will just have maybe the Senate. For me, the Senate, not even House of Reps. So we can try to...
Zax is joining us from Kaduna State. You're welcome. Carry on, please.
Thank you very much. I just want to talk concerning the discussion that is going on at the moment. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, though I don't know their names, but the guy in the center seems to be towing the line of, allowing the Senate to do. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, I'm saying I'm with this guy that is in the jacket. The three arms of government are supposed to run independently. For whatever reason, there shouldn't be any interference from either the executive or the judiciary. So what I'm saying is that, yes, Lawan, candidate, but the truth is that the executive should not interfere. The executive should not interfere. Allow the Senate to run as an arm of government. Do not interfere in their activities. The way there are these hearts of people that are following Lawan is very likely he's going to be a rubber stamp. I don't pray it is so, but I think even the last Senate, they did their best, because in a democracy, you must have give and take. But when you have one arm that is loading over the other, certainly there will be problems. I pray that Lawan will be able to muster strength and energy to stand for what will help the masses.
All right, Zax. We appreciate. The
thing is,
Charles is going, but yes, it is Tony's.
Let me conclude that we pray. I wish for a better Senate, better than the last, in the sense that I don't want the feud that precipitated last assembly between 2015 and let's say 2018-19. We want a fresh National Assembly, fresh in the sense that we want to see things being done differently. We want a National Assembly that is strong, vibrant, focused, knows what they're doing, firm, and not being taken for granted.
Absolutely. And then it's all about the people. It's all about the constituents whom these lawmakers represent. I guess that's what Zax...
No, it says,
and of course, you men are trying to say.
Zach, I don't want you to misunderstand the use of interference and influencing the outcome, the leadership. First of all, they all have a collective mandate that gave them all these positions. Lawan, for instance, had the mandate that gave him the APC ticket, and first of all, he now became a senator on the platform of APC, right? The president is an APC president, no, even the president of Nigeria, but he's an APC president. So you cannot say that having an APC government, the executive should just stay aloof and say they can't have any influence in who becomes the leadership. But the one I'm saying first that What we will not see is interference. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between influencing, and yeah, exactly. So I'm not saying that we hope. I'm not hoping for any interference in the affairs of the National Assembly. But you can't say that a party that has claimed victory or that has victory should not influence the emergence of the leadership. So why is it done? I mean, it's still the same APC government.
All right, gentlemen, you've had your say, and of course, the conversation will continue even beyond now. We'll be back again to do a post-mortem on all the happenings in National Assembly. Still to come on Journalists Hangout today, APC State Chairman seek President Buhari's intervention in the Oshiomhole face-off. That's in a moment. Stay with us. Thanks so much for staying with us on TVC News. You're watching Journalists Hangout. Let's move on now. When the chips are down, countries, societies or groups look up to their leaders now to salvage an unpalatable situation for them. The state chairman of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, now seeking the intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari. This about the face-off between the camps of the party's national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, and his predecessor, John Odige Oyegu. Well, the state chairmen, including those of Osun Plateau, Benue, Imo, and Rivers, say the intervention of the president is necessary to prevent the dispute from degenerating into a major crisis. In their words, a fight like this can cause disintegration. Tony, do you agree?
Of course. We've seen it in the past. It's part of the reason why PDP, went down. And I'm just trying to come back again. Impunity, if you, for me, I think the national chairman has learnt a bigger lesson. Forget what they're putting out there. It can be, I mean, you can't go into a party, for instance, you have 10 parties, 10 states, and then you're losing like 3 of that. And some people in that party, first of all, they don't even like you in the first instance. And then your conduct matters a lot. I've seen Adams Oshiomhole is somebody I respect so much, even in his days as a labor leader. I followed them in protest here in Lagos, and I've gone to functions where somebody you want to listen to. It makes a lot of sense. But then when he got into that party, each time he speaks, I was like, somebody should tell him not to, because I think at times he takes it overboard. And you're talking to men here. I mean, diplomacy matters. No matter the situation you find yourself, it's not about being radical. That was where this problem comes from. He started fighting state governors. You cannot take out state governors from this whole thing. They fund the parties in the state. They can dismantle that party in your very presence in the state. So you must learn how to bring them close, no matter what. There is always room for conflict resolution. It's not all the time we will take, no, we won't do. The initial fight was between himself and the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Gige, over this National Social NSI.
Insurance, right.
And if the president is condoning it, he will not. And I was on TV, I was watching. We should learn, to be a little circumspect when we attain certain positions in life. He was the governor and then national chairman of the party. And he came when the party was let's say, I won't say in a crisis, but he came to bring solution to that party. And then after the election, I would have expected a situation where he called emergency meeting, call everybody on board. You are great parties. We are not in the party, but we can see. I can tell personally that you call them, you are the chairman, you can see everything. You don't fight everybody. All
right. Tony, that said, Charles, what would be your verdict, so to speak? Well, the parties are waiting, a caucus of the parties are waiting the president's intervention. What would your verdict be?
Well, I think I must first of all praise these state chairmen who have decided to take it upon themselves to bring about sanity in this, what they call the likelihood of disintegration happening. Implosion in any party is something they should fear. When you have implosion, it can cause severe damage to the very fabric of that party. Having said that, but Oshiomhole, you may not like his modus operandi, but I think for me personally, this is personal to me, but I think he has done well. You may not agree. Why did I say so? Before he came in, the party was running riot. Oyegun, that story is saying that Oshiomhole is unable to hold that party together. I mean, Oyegun was the one who caused the problem in the first place, because he was very soft. It was his policy that multiplied laws of the manor everywhere. Each state now became larger than the center. You couldn't do that. You couldn't have that in the party. And then those who rooted for Oshiomhole, they had always known his antecedent. Oshiomhole has always been a very tactful talker. We know that. Oshiomhole has never been a diplomatic person. They knew that.
He was employed, so to speak.
He was employed based on his antecedent, because they knew him as the person who has the charisma, in quote, his own right, to rein members in. He was the only one who could stand governors face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and then tell them, no, you couldn't do this. Okorocha was like a lot of the man in Imo State, but he tore Okorocha to shreds. I'm also that was there and was writing a list of who to go and who to go. What happened? He was able to bring him down to his knees.
And they lost the state.
No, look. You may lose the state. Let me say this.
That's a valid point
you may lose
for people even within the same party.
But you may lose that state. But the question is,
what's the achievement?
They've been able to achieve that. The party now has supremacy, which was lacking. And if any party doesn't have a central supremacy, then what happens? So you may have lost, and those states that they have lost. You look at what happened there. Look at Zamfara, for instance. How did they lose it? Because there was a governor that was going to go out, that was going to go away after spending about 8 years. Somebody wanted to come and say you couldn't go. You wanted the person's position and say you couldn't have this, and then there were codes that were set. You couldn't meet it. I think I gave about 7th or 6th of October. They couldn't meet it. Was there Oshiomhole, was this fault?
What about Imo?
You go to Imo too. Somebody was insisting that he said Oshiomhole was there. Was it Oshiomhole's fault? Well, no, let me bury this, Tony. What I'm saying first that those who brought Oshiomhole in replacement of Oyegun, who, for me, by my estimate, was very soft, they knew Oshiomhole's antecedent. They knew the way he was tackled. It was
now, complain.
They shouldn't complain. That's what I'm saying. But they knew who he has always been. And Oshiomhole is acting to type.
All right. So, but then, Tony, the argument has even somewhat extended to the competence, so to speak, of the National Working Committee. They've been dragged in. It's like Mr. Oshiomhole has, usurped, the legitimacy of doing all these things just by himself, for himself.
See, I've listened to people, even that NWC of the party. I've listened to members of the party who are complaining about Oshiomhole. It's high-handedness. It's brash. Diplomacy is the key. It's the way. You said in Zamfara. But the issue here now is that they've lost the states. And those are the contention. Those are the contending issues now these people are marshalling. That's what they are putting on the table.
In Zamfara State, for example, that you happened, there were 3 big names, all vying for the governor, the former governor there, and of course 2 other big names that also wanted their men. That's or right. They themselves. So what could Oshiomhole have done differently?
See, the issue is this. When the party was going for the primaries, he told them, you, this state, you can go for direct, you, indirect. That's where the problem came from. We saw this thing here. We saw it. Nobody's telling me. No, it's just yesterday here. That was the beginning of that crisis. And then you see people going into indirect or direct primaries. You can't say these are the numbers. They were giving out figures.
No, was it direct writing the list?
Listen, Charles.
No, was it direct writing the list only?
This crisis came from. People in this, that's where the implosion started from within the states. You said you did it for this one. You're not doing it for me. That was why would you bring 2? I mean, it's the same family. This is what I want. Let it go. And you are giving some people preference. Listen, we know this. Let us not go into it. Look, see, the issue is this.
We may just go. Okay, we're not the party.
The issue is now because we have to start from where we are now. No, what I'm saying is that we have to from where we are now. From where we are now, like you're talking about the party now calling for reconciliation. That is the state party chairman. I said, for them to attain true reconciliation, they have to go back to where the problem started from. You can't reconcile when the problem is still lying underneath. What were the issues that propped up this conflict within the party? By the time we resolve, is Oshiomhole going to change? They are still fighting today. People who shouldn't talk to him are talking to him. They want him out. Deputy National Chairman. It's not somebody you think, it's not a state party chairman. And then other people in the party across the state are lending their voices, including my state in Delta.
Let's bring in Peter. He's joining us from Lagos. Peter, it's good to have you join us. Please join in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to talk about your topic about Oshiomhole and Oyegu. Yeah, my name is.
You need to mute your TV set so we can enjoy the conversation from your end.
I want to talk about Oshiomhole because Oshiomhole is someone I knew when I was in Abuja, struggling as a youth,
It's listening to them on TV.
Peter, we're losing too much time. I'm afraid.
Just
ignore your TV set and talk,
Oshiomhole, there was a time, I went to Abuja. I never knew anybody in Abuja. I summoned courage. I went to Oshiomhole's office. To see him.
Sorry.
All right.
Now,
I want Charles to respond.
Let me counter. See, the thing is, first of all, we're saying people are complaining about his style of leadership. But I can also let you know that there are a lot of people within that party are happy that power has been taken. Okay, not have been. Power is being taken away from the governors. Okay? Because there are some people whose the antics of the governors, the be-all and end-all status of the governor, rob a lot of people from even gaining some traction in that party. Most of them, even within your Delta state, most of them are happy that right now governors are no longer solely in charge of the affairs of the parties in the state. So where does that stand? The party now has to claim that supremacy, so that when they cough, everybody listen. Not unlike when you had a multiplication of lords all over Nigeria. It didn't work well for the party. Do you know Yegu? That's what I'm saying. Do you know Yegu? The party was running riot. But somebody came in, somebody who they knew was not diplomatic.
I get that, Charles, but where all this is leading to
where is it leading to?
Is what I'm
where
interested in.
Let me tell you where it's leading to. Let me tell you where it's leading to. Let me tell you where it's leading to.
But I've heard the argument before.
It's no longer there.
Okay, but let me tell you, you asked the question, where is it leading to? Let me tell you where it's leading to. Now the party, having gained that, the possibility, what do you call it now, the supremacy, is going to work and it's going to be stronger. Because you know why? Any governor, they will look at Okorocha. If you go overboard, if you try to be beyond, if you try to think that you have the power to muster, they cut you down. So what does that mean? It means that everyone is going to fight behind what the party in the center said. Is that not gain?
See, you mentioned him again. See, the party prop up Hope Uzodinma from nowhere. He just left PDP some.
Because somebody wanted at all costs to install his son-in-law.
That is the anger I'm talking about. As a party leader, I don't say, okay, let's see how it goes. I'm ready to lose that state, no matter what it takes. And that's what happened. At a point, you have to calm down, call the government. You cannot write off the government. They fund the party in the state.
Charles I
want to as party supremacy is vital. But it has to come gradual. It can't just
gradual when the party
no. See, I told you the gradual. It was during the crisis. It was during the.
Did you look at the rot? Did you remember the rot?
I gave you. See,
look at the rot.
No, it's going to happen. You can see the fight now because the chairman made a mistake.
The fight is needful.
So the issue is that okay, it's done. I'm sorry. Can't he do that?
Look,
no.
If he did that, it's easy to be Oshiomhole.
Charles, I'm going to.
If he did that,
let me allow the two of you to calm down. Ade, please welcome to the program. Carry on. You're joining us from Kogi State, Lokoja. Good to have you.
Yes.
Join us.
Good evening, ma.
Carry on, sir.
I want to be on the same line with Mr. Charles.
Thank you.
I happen to be a founding member of APC. We've been coming all along. And we were not lucky to have a man like the interim chairman, Baba Bisi Akonde, to continue as the first substantive chairman of the party.
and that has caused us a lot. Please, Nigerians should know that as progressive are the affairs of our members and Nigerians as a whole is not just about winning election. This must sink into our heads. We must not allow these things to go in the way it was going during Oyegu and have a party that has no control, have a party where governors will not follow the manifesto of the party, have a party that Nigerians will not be given what we promised during the electoral campaign. These are the things that must be corrected. For God's sake, even if we go back to one state, like we had during Bola Aswaju Ahmed Tinubu in 2003, it is not too bad. What Oshiomhole is doing is rebuilding the party to what it ought to have represented.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ade. There. Final word. I'll let Charles, say the final piece.
The final piece is that, yes, they may have lost some state, which, of course, is regrettable. But at least it will enable the party to build and then make projections for the future, which means... But
the murmurs, how the party deals with this murmurs?
No, look, it will fizzle out. I'm telling you, because you know why? Even there are some passive supporters of Oshiomhole, as I told you earlier, across the states.
Of course.
That are going to muster
even within the endorsed state itself, there is a crisis right now within the party.
Oh, so you see, it will go.
But you know.
It will go.
So,
it will go.
Listen, the issue is this, no problem. It has gotten to this level. I expect Oshiomhole to step forward now, because it caused that crisis. He cannot do it alone. Okay. He must still bring in these people.
All right.
He can't do it alone.
Tony, you've had your say. Let's move on now, talking security, where from all indications, it appears the armed bandits ravaging many parts of Nigeria have no regards for culture or religion. We're talking about the reported killings of 16 persons by bandits in Kanoma district of Maro local government area of Zamfara state. This occurred on Eid al-Fitr Day, while Muslims were celebrating the Salah, signifying the end of Ramadan fast. The bandits were busy visiting horror on the people there. Now, the Director General of Media to the State Governor, Yusuf Idris, confirmed the incident, saying 14 other persons sustained injuries from the attack. Well, the country's Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, wants tougher laws against armed banditry and kidnapping to stem these crimes. He's also advocating seizure of assets linked to illicit proceeds from such crimes. Charles, now, the story doesn't end there of this dastardly attack in Zamfara State. News filtered in just before the show started of this same DG of Zamfara State government on media saying Alhaji Ahmed Lawan, head of Kanoma, and Emir of Maru, Abubakar Ibrahim, these two men have been removed, so to speak. They are alleged to have had hands in this killings. Let's look at this possible link.
Well, it's quite unfortunate what is happening there, and that's why the security agencies must do everything possible above par to ensure that the intelligence gathering is taken very seriously, and whatever report they get, let them act on it. Possibly, I'm sure that what you just said now could be linked to the report they gathered earlier to say those people are culpable. It's only that once people are culpable and they are investigated and found to be wanting, what next are you supposed to do is to deal decisively so that that could serve as a deterrent. So that because it seems as if what is happening is Zamfara, casting all of them. It's what I liken to what was it Sunny that said you are fighting corruption with deodorant. So it's as if what we are fighting this banditry and all of that with deodorant, and it's going to work. So the intelligence gathering group, because it's quite disheartening. Now when we have a military that when they go to abroad, when they go abroad to participate in some maybe UN mission as well, they bring back laurel. It's the same military we are having that is unable to now tackle ragtag militants. It's disheartening. So, because whether you like it or not, whatever is happening in Zamfara, which is, of course, you know, they produce a lot of food, their agricultural food, is the same Kasina. It is not now, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, we're going to have food insecurity in the country, which is if it is not contained, exactly. So which is why everybody must, all hands will be on deck. Not if you know what to do it. If the president, I'm not president, the government, what need to do that? If he has to do it, maybe increasing the votes, let him do it, and then let's just stamp this ragtag militants out for good.
And Tony, it will not be the first time that traditional rulers will allegedly have hands or have ties now, or close relationships, so to speak, now with these bandits. What are you thinking about in this regard?
Yes, I think I listened to the president the other day when he was saying that you can't take away this crisis within, you can't take it outside communities. We have cases in Nigeria where you can, let's say between Abuja and Kaduna, that access, that's dangerous access. There are villages there. And this the modus operandi these days is that they even live in forest for days, unchallenged. I've read stories of kidnapped victims where they will tell us, you saw this story that kept in the forest for days with shelter and all that, and you have gun-wielding men on standby while they go for another operation, still return there. And then you wonder, is that territory, is that environment within a country or a state? Our traditional rulers, they've been on ground for a long time, and most of them is so sad. Why some are good, some are not. And if you look at the way most of them won't come up. So we have issues. These are the areas, as time goes on, we have to look into. Taking this issue to these communities, for me, is something we need to look into seriously. I am saying this because you can't, kidnapping today, for instance, if you, between Ofosu and Okada, if you're driving between Ore to Benin, Ofosu, Okada, that's what's happening now. They will kidnap a whole, that's bus, drive it into the forest, kidnap the entire passengers. Now, that's what's going on now. So it can't happen between this range and they are driven to Benin. No. So it tells you that it's within that community. And that is where the securities, our security network comes in. We need intelligence. We need intel.
All right. Okay. Can I hold that thought? Muftar from Kano, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Carry on, please.
Just my little contribution is that there was a time that the TBC took time to visit Zamfara. In the person of Baba Jide, he went there to investigate. And then after that, Ansado made a press conference that there were hands of those who ruled the state, the traditional rulers and some government officials. But my understanding was that the federal government should have formed a committee at that time, about 3-4 months ago, to investigate what GDE or TBC has said and to compare it with Dansado's statement so that they come up with a comprehensive report on how to tackle it. But the federal government showed a nonchalant attitude, as if people are just like lizards. People are being killed anyway. And now it is too late. So many people lost their lives, innocent lives. And it is now the federal government has turned back to say, we are going to do something. I think this is unfair. And as a democratic government, we don't expect such things from them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mukhtar. Can we wrap up that?
What I'm saying is this. This thing happened within community. Because Nigeria is in crisis now when it comes to this issue of banditry, Boko Haram, banditry, herdsmen and all that. And it's happening by the seconds. What I want the security system network apparatus to do now, we know we have the resources to do so. You train officers, push them inside this. I mean, they can mix.
So this terrain is now.
They get, so now we are more proactive. We are proactive. We attack them before they attack us. I mean, information will be received by the second. We have the resources. push them into these communities, because these things are happening within communities.
Do we have...
There are some places...
Do we even have the capacity? That seems to be a challenge now for our forces to, you know, stay on these terrains now. Do we have that?
Well, even if we had capacity, most of the men you deploy, they're not above board. Most of them are also interested parties.
Well, if they are properly trained, that's what I'm saying. That's why the issue of training.
Because in those days, when we're growing up those days, I'm sure you're going to remember this. Even in universities, University of Benin, all of them, you find people who never graduate. We were told they were CIDs. I mean, that's what we called CID in those days. Those were police officers who were informal. They were thrown into schools, into high institutions. They were there. They were attending lectures.
Don't we still have them?
Oh, do you? I don't think so. I don't think so. Even if you have them. No, I don't think so.
With a different appellation, perhaps.
I don't know. They will be there. They will do exams. You know them. They will do exams. They will do assignment with you. You will never know that they were working as involved. And they were just gathering a report. So that's exactly how to infiltrate. Because if you have all these people who say every time they're just running riot in that axis, and then you can't even have a hand on who their leaders are, on how they are even perpetrating this, then there's a problem. You can even throw people around, even even DSS. They become their members. They operate with them, but they are gathering information. That's how to trace this.
Let me allow Charles to drop a final word now. Even as the IGP has, of course, spoken out on this, calling for tougher laws. I mean, will they work? It's not even about tougher laws. State assemblies, in the past, I remember when my governor, my state, was the state assembly then passed anti-kidnapping law. I think death penalty. The law was passed, but the governor said, no, I won't put my signature to this. I don't want their blood on my hands. So that tells you, we can make laws, but implementation matters a lot. We know this problem because I was sitting down here laughing. A lot of people have been hit. I had, today, before I came here, there was this audio I have on my phone. Somebody was kidnapped, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Negotiating for ransom and all that. They are looking for 50 million. The guy said, we don't even have up to $1 million. It's pathetic. It's something. Pathetic. Everybody's hands must be on deck. I think we should. I think we should borrow. Anambra has a template where they use AVS, Anambra Visitor Service, where they have used it to snap out kidnapping from Anambra State. We should take that template and use it. Okay, Charles Edeho and Tony Waje, we have indeed run out of time. I appreciate the two of you. Thank you very, very much. Of course, greetings, of course, to Bajide Kolade Otitoju, who will no doubt join us at the next edition of this program. You could also watch Jonathan's Hangout on other platforms showing on the screen and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel remains Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. Thank you so much for keeping us company on the program today. I am Kemi Fola Adeyemo. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.